It's April with Main Street to the World, and I'm here with Lynn, and we are at Sandals Grande Antigua. We're going to be showing you all this amazing resort. And I have to say, it's even more amazing because we came down here on the day that we were having a snowstorm at home. And it's 80 degrees and breezy and absolutely gorgeous. So here's one lobby area for Club Sandals, which is the concierge rooms. And you do have some special amenities with Club Sandals. They take care of you, they check you in, they bring your luggage to the room, they walk you to your room. There is a Club Sandals lounge, which we haven't seen yet, but we will. Yesterday we were recovering from travels, so now we're catching up and we're going to be showing you everything. See the lobby area. We stayed one night extra, and then we are here by invitation of Sandals, so thank you Sandals for having us out. We can't say how much we appreciate this and the opportunity to see this resort. But basically we were automatically checked out and checked back into room number 2. Well, same room, but stay number 2. And here you can see an overview of outside. And here's the beginning of the beautiful grounds. It is just absolutely gorgeous here. The weather is unbelievable. It's been in the 80s. In the evening it does get a little cool here, so you may need a sweater or a light sweatshirt or jacket. And it may rain a little bit in the evening, but that's not so bad. All day long you have blue skies with barely a cloud. And there's just this constant island breeze that's amazing. So it's definitely very comfortable and much better than the snowstorm that's going on at home. To get here wasn't as much of a process as I thought it would be. To come to Antigua, you do have to have a negative PCR COVID test within 7 days of your arrival. So it's important. There's actually a calendar on the Antigua Barbuda tourism website that can help you calculate what day you should take your test depending on your arrival date. So be sure to check that out. And then once you have your test, make several printouts because they did check it 3 or 4 times through the process of getting here. We came through Boston Logan Airport and they checked it as we were getting in line to check in for the airport. Sorry, I'm putting my sunglasses on. Again, the Antigua sun is pretty strong. So they checked it there. They checked it as they were giving us our boarding passes. And then they checked it when we got to Antigua. So they may have checked it on the plane too, I don't remember. You also have a health questionnaire form to fill out, which you can get on the Antigua Barbuda tourism website. And they do give you a copy on the plane as well. So no fear, you can definitely get a copy of it. It's a 1-page form. Have you had any symptoms? Have you had any contact? Standard questions that they're pretty much asking you everywhere. So don't be intimidated by that. And then you have a customs declaration form. So once you get off the plane, you're escorted to the immigration area where you do wait in line, of course. Our plane was maybe a quarter full, so there weren't many people on the plane, and the overall wait, it took maybe 15-20 minutes. It really wasn't that bad. And so the first step was giving them the health questionnaire form. They confirm that with you. They look at your negative COVID results, and then they sign you off and you go to immigration where they look at your customs form, how long are you staying here, why are you coming to the island, that's important, and then they'll sign that off, and there's 2 copies to that paper. On the customs form you also have to declare how many pieces of luggage you have, and that includes your carry-ons. So you go and you pick up your luggage, and then once you do that, I went downstairs, then there's someone there to confirm on your declarations page how many pieces of luggage you have. And then the last step is you go to another person with immigration that takes the second copy of your customs form. Then you're in the country. So to return back to the United States, you do also have to have a negative test, but it can be a negative antigen test. And there are different types of antigen tests. Antigens are produced, your body produces antigens when you're fighting any kind of virus, bug. They build antigens. So the test is designed to see if your body has produced any antigens against COVID-19. And there are different types of rapid tests, so do your research and see if that's going to be the best thing for you. And then to get into the US, you need the negative antigen test within 72 hours prior to arrival. Now I'm from Massachusetts, so that means I need a negative PCR test. Otherwise I need to quarantine. So I'm going to be taking a PCR test the day after I get home. So I'll have to quarantine until I get the negative results. And then once you have the negative results, you're good. Massachusetts does also have an online travel form to fill out. And if you don't fill it out or follow their regulations, it is a $500 a day fine. So be sure you are looking into your state regulations. Really important. Know what you need to do to return to your state, whether you're traveling around the country or out of the country. And then certainly double check what the US regulations are in case things change. Here's the pizzeria. Menu for Bella Napoli pizza, and this is included. This is an all-inclusive resort, which most things are included, food and drinks. There's a little gathering area, and they do like the fires at night. The croquet grounds. And then you can see the Mediterranean buildings. And our room is to the far right. We're on the second floor, so you can't really see it from here because of the trees, but that's where we are. Last night was the Super Bowl, so they did have this set up for the Super Bowl. They did stream it, and where that Sandals Tower is, they had a movie screen there that they were showing it, and they had a buffet out. And buffets are not traditional buffets right now because of COVID, so they do serve you. So again, all you can eat and drink. And here is the main pool area. Not too many people out right now. A lot of people were probably partying last night. Huge hot tub area. Isn't this gorgeous? And around the perimeter of the pool is mostly zero entry. Mario's, which I believe is the Italian restaurant. And then next to it is the Drunken Duck, which is a British gastropub. They don't have the menus outside, so I can't show you those, but there's a ping pong table, and then you can rent a cabana that is extra. And here we're approaching the water, another seating area with sweetheart couches and fires. This is a public beach, so that is important to note. So you can get locals here selling their wares, if someone is. It's not a Sandals private beach. So here you can see more local people selling. We'll see how that goes. I've heard that they can be a little aggressive with selling, but we'll see how that is. And give you an overview. This is upstairs at the OK Corral, which is the Tex-Mex restaurant. So you can see while we're up here, it's a great view of the water. Isn't that gorgeous? You do have to be careful on the beach because the beach is a public beach. There are people that can be licensed to be on the beach, but there are people that will come out and unfortunately they will try to scam guests. So you do have to be careful. We just booked a boat tour through the resort, so we feel we're safe. Even though we could have booked directly with a vendor and saved a few dollars, it wasn't worth the risk of that. More down there. And look at the cliffs there. This is just unbelievable. It's so gorgeous. And here's a coffee stand and of course a bar. They're everywhere. This is Eleanor's Caribbean Cuisine. And Island Roots is where we booked the tour, so that's where you can book excursions. Oh, Samson and Delilah.
Hello, Birdie.
Hi, babies.
That only one of them got enough.
So this is the lobby area. So there's the front lobby area, and then here is the Japanese tapenaki restaurant kimonos. And here's one quiet pool. Really sweet. This looks like a nice place where you can just sit and chill. Maybe even read a book. What an idea. And I love that the rooms all have towel bars too. That is something that you should see at most resorts. And they do provide towels at the pool, so you don't need to bring them from the room. Walking through another area, now we're coming up on another quiet pool. Again, small pool with a hot tub. You just hear the breeze blowing. It's so quiet. It's definitely where you can come to relax. And you can see a little bit of that room. That is smaller than our room. Our room has a little extra alcove where our left seat is. But it has a larger patio area. This room does. Than ours. And here's another area where you can kind of float around.
That's dangerous.
And volleyball area, of course. There you can see another view of this pool, and it is a swim up pool bar. Not open right now, but probably will be open later, I would imagine. It's still early in the day. The nice big hot tub for people to hang out in. This is called St. Mark's Square. So they have the Colombian emeralds. If you really want to pamper yourself. Travel services. Snapshots photography. Here's a resort store where you can get Antigua logo items as well as Sandals logo items. And Café de Paris is a coffee shop and pastry shop. Poke in here for a minute. Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Oh, no problem. I'm just checking it out. Not getting anything right now.
Okay, no problem.
So here's all kinds of pastries. Eclairs. I haven't gotten anything here from yet, but that is going to change soon. And they do have ice cream. So, we will be coming back to that. And it is a hot, beautiful day today. We did have a little bit of rain last night, but the nice thing is there are umbrellas in the room, so if it rains you can take this huge umbrella with you, and it was no problem. And it was a light rain, so it was actually refreshing. It wasn't bad. And the weather is still warm anyway, so. Right now the resort is probably 20 to 25% capacity. So something to bear in mind when you're coming is there aren't a lot of people here because of COVID. They do have to keep it lower. And here's the Sandals Aqua Center. So there are water activities that are included with your stay, and there are some that are at additional cost. Snorkeling, they do a snorkeling run once a day, every day, and that is included. They can give you a snorkeling lesson if you've never been before. There are sea kayaks, there's sailboats you can rent, there's boats you can take out. You can go scuba diving, and you can get certified here. That is at an additional cost. And then there are lots of other activities. There's different boat rides you can take, jet skis you can rent, all different things. So if you want to be in the water, this is a great place to do it. We are off on a boat in Antigua, and we're going to go snorkeling for a little bit. So I just want to show you the island. The island is gorgeous. This is Sandals Grande Antigua on Dickinson Bay. Antigua is unique. There's 365 beaches in Antigua. It's pretty much the whole island, which is like 102 miles long, I think. Well, sort of blue skies. Little clouds rolling in, but that's okay. Blue water. The sand is really fine, white sand. Really nice. There you can see the extent of the resort. And here we go. We're going to Paradise Reef to snorkel. And here Lynn is going in snorkeling. I'm not going in. I'm not a great swimmer. And it's a little too choppy for me, so I'm a little nervous. So Lynn is in the water. And our friend Jen is in the water.
Okay.
Is about 10 feet deep, but there are some shallow areas. You do have to be careful. There are fire corals which can sting, and there are sea urchins that can bite you, so you do have to be careful. There are sea turtles in the area, but he said probably not in the reef because it's too shallow for them. And there is potential to see stingrays. I want to show you some of this beautiful beach. It is amazing. Those little huts on that pier fascinate me. It's a little table, a bench with chairs. Doesn't seem like it would be totally shady, but there's a guy down there and I could see like shade lines on him, so I guess there's some. And look at that water. And it's actually pretty warm. I found it was actually warmer than one of the pools here, so it's not too shocking to the system. And you can see that oil tanker in the background. And that, we were told, we took a cruise and we're told that that is the primary source of fuel for the island. And way in the distance where we can't see, there are tanks that hold all of their fuel sources. So that tanker is either unloading or loading fuel, and they do store fuel for other islands as well here. So they have like the largest fuel storage in the area. I don't think I could get tired of this view at all. Here we go, and we're leaving for our sunset cruise around the west side of the island. Lynn. Hello. It's a lovely ride. We went to the end of the point and then we turned around and we're going to go past Sandals. It's a beautiful night. We're on a catamaran. And there we can see Sandals in the distance. So bring you in a little bit. And that's where we started. That's the front lobby area for the Caribbean section. And then the tower coming up on the right is the Mediterranean section where we're staying.
On the left, we're looking at Dickinson Bay. Dickinson Bay, a very popular beach here in Ireland, one of the most popular to be exact. You have the Halcyon's Cove in the corner of the beach arm pointing towards the back of the boat. Then you have Sandals and the waterfront directly on our left. Also the high-rise brown building that you're seeing as well. In the background of the beach, that is the Sandals Mediterranean. Coming closer to the water's edge, further across, you have some white buildings with red rooftops. That is the Antigua village. Then you can find the city's beach club between the palm trees and the Coconut Grove restaurant. Then you also have, last but not least, the Marina Bay Resort, the yellow buildings in the corner of the beach on the other side. On the point, you have a privately owned property. It is owned by the owner of King's Casino, and he has it for sale, $6.5 million US. Do you hear that, husband?
Ooh, bargain.
Come on, buy something nice for your wife. It's Valentine's. Yes, a vacation home.
There you go, perfect Valentine's Day gift. $6.5 million home
You can
in the
talk
Caribbean.
to him, and you get it for half the price. But you get your paperwork in probably a week's time, you know.
Cash only.
Cash only.
These guys are great on the ship.
The point, you can see a white building from here. That building was once the captain's quarters belonging to Fort James that is found on that same point. The English built 44 forts here in Antigua. That one was called Fort James, along with Fort Barrington that I'll show you a bit later on, was built in the 1600s to protect the entrances. And the captain's quarters, the white building, was refurbished and it's now known as the Brussels Beach Bar and Restaurant. Straight ahead in front of us, we're looking over at the Coconut Beach behind the vessel in front of us. That's the Coconut Beach. And on the Coconut Beach in the corner on the hillside, you can find the Yepton's Resort and also the Pillar Rock Resort. Further across, the other stretch of beach that is known as the Trafalgar Beach. Straight ahead in front of us, you also have the Fort Barrington that I mentioned earlier. That's the second fort that was used to protect the St. John's Harbor. So you have Fort Barrington at the top of the hill, the Roman structure.
Is just unbelievable. It seems just so wild. And I can just imagine pirates running around all these hills burying treasure.
Tyson saying one of them in 2009.
The Royalton Bungalows go for over $2,009.
Yes, the Royalton Resort, guys, the Royalton Resort.
Love the private pool area. That's amazing. With the glass sides. Houses are unbelievable. I'd love to just go up them and see the view. And then we can see that we're slowly sailing into the sunset. The sun is going down. And so the roundhouse, that's the owner of Porsche. And that's Giorgio Armani's house on the point. And they said something like it could have cost about $88 million or something to that effect. So if you have an extra $88 million, you too could own a house down here. And he's usually here, I guess, in December and in April. So, wow. Just gorgeous.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the property right here for Giorgio Armani. Yes, so if you've been buying his colognes or his suits, you can see where your money has been put to good use.
You want curry goats?
AKA goats. Yes, they love living on the edge. You can see them
Look
on
at
our
the
left.
goats.
Yep, goats. They love rock climbing. I do too.
Yeah?
But that's kind of dangerous. Yeah. Straight ahead we have the Hawksbill Rock. The Hawksbill Rock can be seen straight ahead of us, edging out of water. And on our left as well, you have the Hawksbill Resort, named after that rock. It's one of the only beaches here on island, one of the only resorts to be fronted by 4 lovely beaches. You have the Royal Palm Beach, Honeymooners Cove, Sea Grapes Beach, and last but not least, Eden Beach, the official nude beach here on island. Ooh la la. But we don't stop there most times. We have very good reasons why. The reason why we don't stop is because most of the time persons that like to go nude are the ones that should not. Alright, fair enough?
Fair enough.
Alright, so the Hawksbill Resort on our left. You also have Sandy Island on our right. The small
Hawksbill
island,
Rock.
Point Island directly on our right.
It's out in the
Just
ocean.
beside of the sun that is now about to set, you have a small island as well called Redonda.
What we're gonna do is fit your unit.
Here we can see the sun setting.
When it shows up, then the sun, you don't see the sun.
There you go.
Yeah, look out for the green flash.
Green flash, here.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Now we're returning back to Sandals and we're going at a pretty good clip. So pretty though. I can't even get over how pretty this island is. That's St. John's down in the harbor, the capital of Antigua. I just want to show you the resort a little bit at night. You can see I'll show you the main pool area, and this is again the Mediterranean section where we're staying in our room. Can't see the ocean now, but you can hear it. We just had a great dinner, Barefoot by the Sea, the little restaurant there outside. Al fresco, perfect for this time, for COVID. Although fortunately Antigua has few cases, so it's actually a really good place to come. And here's the main pool area. I don't know that there's a specific time that the pools close per se, but I haven't seen anyone in the pools in the evening. It looks so pretty all lit up. And the cabanas. Cabanas are an additional cost, so they are for rent. And I see a kitty taking advantage of the cabana. How sweet. What a perfect place for the kitties. We won't bother him, but they're sweet. There are so many resort kitties around here. And I hear that they're well taken care of, that they actually do get vet visits. Which is sweet. I don't see any others. That's a really smart cat to be taking advantage of having the cabana all to itself. And I love how they have all the fire pits lit, so you can sit and visit. It's a little cooler tonight. There's a breeze. This is Bella Napoli, the pizza place. We haven't tried the pizza yet, but that is on the agenda for tomorrow. And again, this is the Mediterranean section. The other half is the Caribbean section, where the other front lobby is. This is all the Club Sandals area, the concierge area, and the butler suites. And to give you an idea of the island, you can see Sandals is in the top left corner. And we did do a snorkeling run, and that took us out to Paradise Reef. And we did a sunset cruise, and I think it went up here, and then it went down to this point, because we did see the harbor for St. John's, but we didn't go too much more past that. So we stayed kind of in the northwest part of the island. It was great. I would definitely recommend it. It was at an additional cost, but it was fabulous. This is the Barefoot by the Sea restaurant, and I think it's about the best restaurant on property. I know I've talked to some other people, and they share the opinion. Come here for dinner, and then come back again for dinner, because it was really good. These are honeymoon suites here, ocean view, because you have a perfect view and a short walk to the beach. And everywhere, all the pools as well as the beach, towels are provided. So don't feel you have to bring a towel from home, or good morning, or bring a towel from your room. There are plenty of towels. These sweet little cabins, we did do a resort tour. I wish we could have seen one of those rooms, but really sweet. And this is the wedding gazebo. So you absolutely can come here and have a magical romantic wedding on this amazing island. You know, they can cater to whatever you wish, as much or as little as you want. And up here, sorry for the sun glare, is where you go for your COVID testing. So they'll schedule an appointment for you within 2 days of your departure, and they do the test for you. And then, oh, I have to show you, this is my little friend. There are resort cats on property, and this is my little friend, and the cats are amazing. They're being taken care of. They see vets, they get spayed and neutered, they get wormers each year. There are cat feeding stations around the resort, and this little guy has visited with us a few times, and he's super sweet. But anyway, back to the COVID test. If you do by chance have a positive test, they're going to notify you right away. And if it's negative, you come back the next day after 9:30 and pick up your report to go back home. So, plenty of time. Thanks for joining me. I hope you love the resort. If you have any questions about it, or if you'd like to leave a comment, please leave us a message. Or you're welcome to email us at info@travelcnc.com. Be sure to check out our blogs and podcasts and other YouTube channel videos on mainstreettotheworld.com, and watch for videos on our Coasters and Castles Travel YouTube channel. So thanks for joining. Have a great day.